2022 have been a very, very active year and engaging year in the Lagos real estate. We've had so many fantastic projects launched this year. It's no residential, it's no city, Fairmont Green and Smart City, Immense City, Dukia Africa, and so on and so forth. So a lot of activities, a lot of investment, a lot of opportunities, and again, as usual, a lot of people also made billions in returns from real estate investment here in Lagos this year. Nevertheless, in this episode, we'll be looking at the performance of the top popular and reputable real estate companies here in Lagos, and we're analyzing how far each of them have gone based on the projects they have delivered, the projects they have launched, and also what to think about them. So in case you're coming across a video like this for the first time, this is Meet the Property channel, and this will discuss everything real estate for first-time investors, avid investors, and people who are just trying to learn about the market and the opportunities available in the real estate market and the real estate industry here in Lagos and in Nigeria generally. So this is your go-to channel if you want to learn everything about land documents here in Nigeria, property titles, short let in Nigeria, Airbnb, land banking in Nigeria, off-plan in Nigeria, buy and flip in Nigeria. This is your go-to channel because we have you covered. Talk about return on investments, risk assessments, different locations, thriving locations here. We have several videos, several episodes that we have done covering all these topics. So you are definitely going to learn a lot from them. So let's look at it. The performance review of the top and popular real estate companies here in Lagos for the year 2022. So before we go into the performance review, if you have been watching our videos and you have not subscribed yet, this is our second video. This is our second video you have been watching. This is our third video you have been watching. Our fifth video, our 20th video, our 15th video that you have been watching, and you have not subscribed yet. Kindly do subscribe. We really want you to subscribe. We really need you to subscribe because we don't want you to miss our videos. We don't want you to miss our educative guides, and more subscribers also means more viewers. More viewers means our videos, our guides are also going to reach more people. So you want you to subscribe. That's also one of the ways that you can support us. All right, so let's go into the performance review of the top and popular real estate companies here in Lagos. Let me put a notice out there. How I mention these companies does not in any way affect their performance. So me mentioning the company first or mentioning the company last doesn't mean that they perform badly or they perform excellently. I only mention the companies based on how I arrange them on the list. Please, I only mention the companies on how I arrange them on the list. There is no sequel like first, second, third. Alright, so the first company we'll be reviewing our performance for the year is Veritasi, who are the developers of the Tunu Residential and the Tunu City. Both projects were launched this year and they were a landmark project. Apart from the Tunu series, Veritasi are also the developers of Camberwell Advantage 1, 2, 3, and 4 at Ikate and Lagos Phase 1. So Veritasi is like the top among the top performance developers in Lagos right now, particularly with how they blew our mind with both the Tunu Residential and the Tunu City. And one thing about Veritasi is they have proved it not once, not twice, that they are not afraid with their pricings. You know, Tunu Residential went from 16.5 to 26 to 35. The Tunu City was even like more crazy, from 20 million then to 35 million. Their commercial from 60 or 65 million to 100 million. But then also Veritasi have also shown a very working template for a lot of developers, that if you collect the fund and you invest the fund into a particular project, people are really going to invest, because investors are tired of buying bush, and they're also tired of buying a project and the next 2 years, the next 3 years, nothing is happening. But with Tunu Residential and Tunu City, and the rapid and fast pace of development that happened in both projects in a space of like 8 months or 9 months, it blew the mind of a lot of people, and a lot of people chip in there and invest crazily. All right, now the second company we'll be reviewing our performance this year is Redbricks, who are the developers of the Imman Estate Phase 1, Imman Estate Phase 2, Imman Estate Phase 3, Phase 3 Extension, Tiara, and also the Imman City. Now, Redbricks started slowly this year, but around June, July, they picked up, and they have also shown that they are also a very, very big name in the Lagos real estate industry. Tiara and Imman Estate Phase 3 Extension are in fantastic location, and also the Imman City around the Refinery Road and the Free Trade Zone part is also a very, very good project with a lot of potential. My fear for Redbricks is that they will not fall into the same trap which we know a lot of real estate developers are falling into, which is launching too many projects. But let's see how 2023 will pan out for Redbricks, because again, I'm also getting some insider gist that there are still even more projects for them to launch. All right, so the third company that will be reviewing the performance for this year is Landmark. I might be biased. I love Landmark. All right, so Landmark is just like one of the companies that blew my mind this year, particularly for their off plan. I don't know who is giving Landmark a template. Like Landmark and Crest Homes are like the two companies that can confidently and solidly sell their off plan right now, because I know that once I tell you that so month they'll deliver it, that particular month they'll deliver it. And once you go to that site, either is during the day or during the night, you will meet people there working. I don't know. So Landmark have done very, very well in terms of delivery, particularly for off plan. For off plan this year, they have done exclusively very well. Paragon Smart Terraces, Avocado Smart Homes, Prince Garden in Sherry. They have just been there up and running. The Avocado 2.0 that was even launched this year, despite the fact that they are like on 4 floors, they did a power foundation. That project is at roofing already. Very, 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 very impressive. And most of their project also by the beachfront, by the beachfront, and then that Queen's Garden at Eleko. Most of their projects like the Lagoon Front, the Fairmont Green and Smart City also, they have been very, very impressive in terms of development that they have done there. So maybe all of us, we have to forgive them with what happened with the Beachfront 1 and Beachfront 2. All right, so the fourth company that will be reviewing their performance is Landway, Landmark Landway. All right, so Landway, over the past 4 years, have also been a big name, although this year was really a bit slow for Landway. We didn't really hear so much about Urban Prime 2, 3, and 4 in terms of the houses, the apartments in terms of the houses too. But again, Landway was always in the news every month. They were beginning different land offers around the Bamadesonya, around Awoyaya, around and also this year they also brought in one land scheme 1, scheme 2, scheme 3, and also they also brought in the Fusion City this year also. So in 2023, for the Landway loyalists, be expecting more products. All right, so well, I'm not a big fan of companies launching, which is like my biggest reservation with Landway. But again, when you look at some of their projects and some of their new launch, the locations, the titles, it's also very, very fantastic. But then I'm not a big fan of launching. All right, so that's that about Landway. All right, so let's go to the fifth company, which is Crest Homes. I love Crest Homes because I've seen what they've done over the years, over the past 10 years in the Lagos real estate, different company, different estates that they have developed around the Kate or Sapa, Chevron Drive, Victoria Bay, Victoria Crest, Crest 1, Crest 2, Crest 3, Crest 4, Crest 5, Waterview, Victoria Bay 1, Bay 2, Bay 3, Victoria Nest, and different estates that have done. And 3 years after, 4 years after delivery, you still go there, you still enjoy the ambience. Very, very fantastic maintenance culture for their estate. I love that about Crest Homes. And then again, when you look at their off plan too, they tell you specifically when they want to deliver. They give you a payment plan that tally with the period they want to deliver. No plus, no minus. They deliver one before they move to another one. So for Citadel Views 1.0 at Songotedu, people are staying there already. Citadel Views 2.0 at Egbamadesanya, anything next year, I expect people to also start staying there too. And although I don't know where they will be building Citadel View 3.0 to, but I know they have a plan for that too. So Victoria Crest, alright, so next is Gracias. Gracias also did well this year. Coral City, both the one at K2 and then the one at Igboye. Then Metro Bay, which other project again? So Gracias also was also on the news with very good products, particularly innovating, being innovative by bringing out the Coral City just for teens, to encourage parents to also have an investment for their children. That was really, really innovative. I don't think there's any other company that is doing that right now. All right, so Gracias have been doing fantastic. Gracias Goshenite is there. Gracias Manganite is there. Very good title, very good location too. Gracias can do better, definitely, but they're not doing bad too. And looking at the locations that they have their properties too, so far so good. They are doing well. All right, so let's go to MKH. Oh, I love MKH too. Those are the developers of the wealthy place. That's at Orofun, around the Free Trade Zone, and then they're also the developers of the Wealthy Islets, which is at Abijo, just behind the Eko Akete. So the MKH2 are also competing very well and also creating a space for themselves by being the fast pace of development that are bringing into their projects, and also impressively what they did at the Wealthy Place, particularly with the land title. I'm very, very impressive with that. And even the Wealthy Islet also, what they've done with the Wealthy Islet, particularly with that resort that they built in front of the Wealthy Islet, also makes me to love that project so much. So MKH also had a fantastic year, particularly towards this end of the year. They did very, very well, particularly with that Wealthy Islet. Alright, so next on our review list is Andron. Well, I don't know so much about Andron basically, but I know that Andron is always Andron. They also have their own loyalists too. The Shimawa, the Ibadan, the Abeokuta, particularly with the gatehouse. That's Andron's trademark. And I'm really, really anticipating the kind of gatehouse that are going to build at that Eco City. I'm just trying to anticipate what they are going to do at that Eco City. That's just after Tiara along the Alaro City corridor. So Andron is well known. Andron is there. Andron will continue to be there based on their performance also. And this year, finally, they have also moved to site to start work on the Eco City. And I'm already trying to anticipate what they are going to do there. Imen is there, Veritasi is there. We've seen what they have been doing, and I'm also like expecting the same from Andron for what they are going to do at that Eco City. All right, so this year also they have a couple of fantastic projects around Shagamu, around Shimawa, and also around different fantastic locations around the Abeokuta Shagamu corridor also. And Andron is Andron basically, and so far so good. They are doing well. Alright, so the next after Andron is Arcview. Arcview also did very well this year too. The Treasure Hilltop launched this project at Ikorodu this year, despite it was closed for a while, but again that's been reopened again. You see, one thing about all real estate companies is real estate companies and real estate developers always face a lot of challenges behind the scene. So trying to label a particular company as not doing well because of whatever challenge they are facing behind the scene is not really a very good way to review them, because all of them face them. They face challenges. The important thing about these developers is after facing these challenges, they should be able to bounce back from these challenges and also protect the investors that have invested with them despite whatever challenges that they are facing. And which is one thing that I find really, really encouraging about Arcview. Regardless of whatever happened at site, whatever happened on the property that they sold to investors, they are still going to protect investors as much as they can. At least this year, off my head, I know like almost 3-4 different locations that they had challenges based on the project that they have, and confidently they protect investors 100% in all those locations. So impressive for Arcview. So with all the challenges overcome, I expect 2023. I expect more from them 2023 in terms of developments, in terms of delivery, and in terms of most of these are projects also taking in far much more new shapes. Alright, so the next one after Arcview is Revolution Plus Properties. We didn't hear so much from Revolution Plus this year. Maybe just a couple of new launched projects here and there. These are projects in Ogombo. The Dream City is there. Not much is happening. The Flourish Residencies in Orchid is moving steadily, progressively. Then the project also at Monastery Road 3 is there. Flourish something at Monastery Road. I think there's also a Flourish Phase 2 around that Monastery side too. And they also have this project also just beside Itunu City, the Legend Smart City also down to is there. So Revolution Plus are still well positioned. They still have very good projects in very well positioned locations. It's been quiet from them so far, and I think 2023 will be like a very big year to determine either the success or the failure of the company. So let's look at how 2023 will be for Revolution Plus. Now, next after Revolution Plus is Xylos, or Zylus, and how you pronounce it. I pronounce it Xylos anyway. I've done a couple of dealings with Xylos, Western Hilltop, Xylos Courts, so Lekki Pride One, so Chrisland. So Xylos is also another company that I really have a lot of very good transaction, very good relationship with, and so far so good. Also, they're also a company that I so much trust also in terms of allocation. Xylos, once you pay and you pay your ancillary fees, I can bet it they won't owe you your land, they will give you your land. So Xylos also did very well with Lekki Pride 2, Lekki Pride 3 this year, particularly with Lekki Pride 3 impressively. And whatever challenges that they are facing there, I believe strongly that the company can sort that. That's even one of the reasons that we always advise you guys come to developers, buy from developers. So when the big begin happen, you will sleep. It's developer that will not sleep because they collected money. Alright, so they have done impressively with Lekki Pride 3 there, and for 2023 I expect them to also deliver Lekki Pride 1 and also do so much more with Lekki Pride 2 and 3. Xylos Courts, they delivered Xylos Courts 1 this year, the semi-detached and the terraces there, and then they launched Xylos Court 2 also, which I expect the same for next year. A lot of work should also go into that project too. Western Hilltop, I hope they, as at least by next year they can take much more focus in also putting more development at Western Hilltop. But again, anybody that's bought Western Hilltop and gotten allocation, you might complain that development is slow, but at least you've gotten allocation and gotten your documents. And I believe that at some point also Xylos will also move in their manpower and put in a lot of infrastructures in Xylos Western Hilltop, just as we know how much they have done at Lekki Pride 1, 2 and 3. So next after Xylos is P1. I don't know much about P1 because there are just too many. I don't even know which one I have to review. P1 Max, P1 Even, P1 Plus, P1 Plus Plus, P1 Plus Plus Plus, P1 Pro Max. So all of the reason I'm very reluctant about P1 is just the fact that I just feel like I don't know which one is who. I don't know which one who is controlling who, but I know a lot of my colleagues, top colleagues, that have very fantastic relationship with P1, so they love P1 properties, and P1 also have a very good location. P1 Cedarwood, P1 Max has one opposite Isimi. They have very all around the bed. There's P1, even down Tiko this side, Agbawa side, there's P1 there. So P1 will continue to be P1. They have been here for more than 10 years. And next year, I still expect them to be there, basically, and still continues to launch more and more projects around Delmi, and different locations that they are launching their project. Alright, so next after P1, Lifecard. I have not done any transaction with Lifecard, but I have a lot of viewers and a lot of subscribers that have bought different Lifecard projects, and I feel like Lifecard also have some very good locations. The advantage just at Alanwu is one, facing the Lekki Expressway. The Point Estate is also another one, and I heard they also have one project in Oshoroko and also some project in Ekpe too. So that's as long as they give clients their allocation, and I can to an extent confirm that their properties have very good titles. So as long as they can deliver do infrastructures and give people allocation, it's all good. But they actually launched very good projects and very good locations this year. All right, so the next company is Tibetat. Tibetat also did very well this year. They're the developers of the Ambience Foreshore. The Ambience Foreshore in Songotedo, which is like the only project in Songotedo right now that is directly facing the lagoon, and where you can have an access right from the estate down to Lake Phase 1 via jetty. Wow, I just love that project, and that's a very good title also as a CFO. So Tibetat also launched the Ambience 2.0, the Ambience 2.0 at Songotedo after the success of the Ambience 1.0, and looking at what they have been doing at that 2.0 also has been impressive too. So Tibetat also looking forward to 2023 with them, see how far they can go with 2.0, the delivery of 2.0, and I'm very sure that they must have learned from some of the setbacks and challenges they had with Ambience 1.0 so that they can deliver this 2.0 faster. And then we look at how Ambience Foreshore is going to take shape in 2023 in terms of the infrastructures, the dredging, and also the different shoreline protection that the company promised. All right, so another company I would like to review is Fudiso. Yeah, a lot of people really don't know so much about Fudiso, but I feel like Fudiso are really doing well for their market. Oasis Court is there at Poka. Then the Haven Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3 after the Ekpe toll gate are also very fantastic projects. And one thing I really love about Fudiso is that their ancillary fees is very modest, which is one of the challenges I have with one of the companies that I've mentioned in this video. I don't want to mention their company name, but I don't want their loyalists to start fighting me. The ancillary fees for Fudiso is very modest. You can imagine that Fudiso charge less than 1 million for their statutory fees. The development levy is like 250,000 for their estates. Really. So I love that about Fudiso. So their property, if it's 1 million, just add maybe 450 or 440,000 to it. If the property is maybe 1.5 million, just add 440,000 to it. That's the entire ancillary fees. So, and usually ancillary fees shouldn't be very high. Why should I buy a property for 6 million and I'm paying 2 million for development levy? It's too much. All right, so but I love Fudiso, and so far so good. The properties for them that I've sold this year, my clients got allocated this year too. Got their documents, got their deed, got everything. So thumbs up to Fudiso, and I also expect more from them. I feel like they can actually do more, try to get something more in between Ekpe, and I feel it's also going to do very well and sell very well. Their project in Poka, actually people are staying there. Electricity, security is there right now. Oasis Court, you can check it. You can check it out. Oasis Court, Poka, very fantastic development. The 2-bed bungalows, the 3-bed bungalows. Thumbs up to Fudiso. All right, so another really company that is coming up and doing very well is also Uvest. Uvest. Although I don't have so much relationship with them, but I actually like the vibe of their MD. All right, and I also like the fact that they are trying to target millennials, which is like people in our age, you know, people 30 below, and trying to encourage both the guys and the ladies in this age bracket who are mostly still single to also still invest in real estate. Really, you know, they're just trying to put it out there that you just don't have to get your first Benz or get your first Lexus, try to also invest and get a land, and they're putting their target market towards the millennials. So their products, their packaging, their branding, their messages, brand communication are mostly targeted towards millennials. And it's very important for us millennials to invest too, not just the 50s and the 60s to be investing. We are still getting small money too. We should also be investing. So I love Uvest for that, and I love their how they tailor their particular brand and products just to fit that particular target audience. All right, so among the other companies I would like to mention that are really doing well impressively, MKH Properties, MKH, Lush, and then Cytec. Cytec are the developers of Ideal Gardens. Ideal Gardens 1, 2, 3. I did some dealings, some transaction with Ideal Garden this year. Then MKH, who are the developers of Key Haven 1, Key Haven 2, Key Haven 3, Key Haven 4. See, all these companies, it doesn't mean that you don't have issue with them. You will have issue with them. But again, You have issue, you try to solve it, particularly depending on your realtor. Me as a realtor, I used to have issues with companies too, but depending on my relationship with them, I try as much as possible to protect my clients. Then I come online and educate and guide you based on the experience I have with the company or the transaction. So if I mention any company here and I'm trying to give them like a plus, and I feel like I'm biased because you have an issue with them, trust me, some of the companies that I mentioned here too, me personally have an issue with them too. We solve it, I count my loss, and then I move on. So that's it. There's no much big deal in that. So one thing I like about Keshab, which are the developers of Kievan, is our gatehouse. You should not just collect all these 250,000, 500,000 for development level and do nothing. But at least for Keshab, they are going to do a nice gatehouse, at least to even boost your investment there. So when you buy at 700,000 or 800,000, and by the time they do that gatehouse, that probably goes to 1.5 million. It adds value to your investments in that project, which is something that I really like about them. Some properties, some companies, they will sold out the estate, allocate the estate, they will not finish the gatehouse. The gatehouse will still be under construction. Come 2 years later, the gatehouse will still be under construction. No, I don't like that. So I appreciate that about Keshab. Most of the estates, once you go there, you always see that logo, that logo gatehouse there, and it's really impressive, particularly for Kievan 1. They're really doing very well with that Kievan 1. So Lush Garden 2 are doing really well, trying to also meet the affordable market, 900,000, 800,000, 1 million bracket. Then Cytec 2 also trying to meet that affordable market also. And also Onyx 2. I bought more from Onyx than I've sold for them. So I'm more of an investor with Onyx than a realtor. So Onyx also are also doing very well. Impressively this year, for most of their estates, they went there and do a lot of development. Now, my review of these companies doesn't mean that I'm telling you go and buy from them without you telling me. If you don't tell me, I'm not going to be liable for any misinformation or whatever. You made that decision on yourself. So I'm only liable for a transaction that I'm involved in. If I'm not involved in, and you come and tell me, Arcview, you mentioned the company in your video, I'm not responsible. It's a review. We are only reviewing their performances for the year. That's it. If you have any project that you want to buy from them or any price that you want to buy from, you might have to ask me once again before you go on and buy. That's it. Alright, so Onyx 2 did very well this year. Did a lot of development, fencing, infrastructure in lot of their estate also, and a lot of their projects also this year also appreciated very well too. Alright, so if you don't mention your company, okay, there's so many other. Oh, I don't mention Evermark. Please, Evermark, the developers of Duki Africa, developers of Chevy Castle at Chevron Drive, the developers of the Castle bungalows at Oribanwa. Evermark also did very well this year. Launched Duki into the market, made a lot of noise about the project, and also they transformed that location basically. Did the road down to the estate, did the helipad. They are currently doing the basketball courts, and impressively, they have done like 3 allocations in Dukia. And which is one thing I always want. I love it when companies allocate land. If you are allocating every month, it's not bad, because people are paying you every month. As you are collecting the money from the investors, be giving them don't find any excuse to delay it, that we have not have enough people, but you collect money. So impressively, they have done 3 allocations in Dukia in the past how many months? Maybe 3 months. Impressively. So I want that. I want them to do that more also. As people are paying, just be giving them their land. Let them know. So you know that you are not owing anybody land, that they want owing you money. So Dukia is also a very good project. The development are coming there. They have closed the sale of the commercial, which is also what I find encouraging. They even have a commercial section there, because if they are doing that kind of massive development there, then having a commercial zone also makes a lot of sense too. So Evermark also that is very impressive year, and we're expecting more from them, particularly for Duki Africa. We are expecting more from them for next year, and for the Chevy Castle also, we're expecting more from them for next year. They don't have any excuse again about that Chevy Castle. That project just got to get to very advanced stage for 2023. No excuse again. No excuse, basically. All right. So, honorable mentions. A lot of companies. There's so many more companies. Mirror Homes. Samuel is doing very well this year. We had Dominion for sure. We had Dominion Phase 1 sold out. We had Dominion Phase 2 selling, and we've even got a new project also around Temu. And for 2023, me and Samuel are already sitting down and looking at a lot of different opportunities, different market gaps that you can also tap into the market. So, thumbs up for you, Samuel. You have been doing very well with Mirror Homes too. All right, so Prime Pinnacle is also there. Prime Pinnacle also did a couple of nice projects this year. Time View, then this particular project at Igbodu, the Wave was like a very nice project. All right, so Prime Pinnacle too, they are doing well. All right, like I said, any of this company, if you can't use my review to go and buy it from them, that's not my issue. Don't come and hold me responsible. Any project, I've told you, I also mentioned it to investors. I don't sell for your company. I sell solutions. So I sell for Gracias, but it's not all Gracias property that I sell. So there are some projects by some companies that I'm not going to sell. Not because the project is bad, but because I just feel like based on the price, based on the location, based on the title, I can buy it and I can sell it. Simple. So you may want to review my one-on-one consultation based on any of these companies before you pick any of their projects or any of their products. That's it. All right, so for 2023, I envision that a lot of companies will come out with new projects, new locations, and a lot of even companies are even coming. Some companies that we don't even know their name. I see them having very fantastic locations, very fantastic projects, very fantastic developments. There are even some developers in this Lagos that are doing very well, and they don't make any noise. I just there. Neighborhood Review, doing Genesis Courts. This guy doing Amity Estate also, very fantastic, nice projects, and they have it there, very good infrastructures, and you're not going to see them much online or much on the news. So, all right, so for 2023, more opportunities will be there. Regardless of the result of the election, opportunities will still come. Even with the election, there will even be more money anyway. So, with all this restriction on cash now, so by fire by force, you have to do transfer. So real estate investors and developers are even going to have more money, because a lot of people, we have no choice than to put their money with developers, but they don't want to keep it at the bank, because the entire CBN policy right now is structured in a way to ensure that we all keep our monies in the bank, because they are reducing how much cash all of us are going to have access to, raw cash. All right, so which means that there will be more money for developers. More money for developers means that there will be more projects that will be launched, and more development that will be going to the project that will be launched too, which means that more return for investors and more opportunities for investors. So look forward for 2023. A lot of new projects, a lot of new opportunities are going to come out there. And if there's any project that you want to key into, as I mentioned, it might do you well to first reach me and ask me. So these companies, I sell for them. Most of them actually I sell for them, but most of their projects I don't sell. Because I look at the title, I look at the location before I sell. Some people have reviewed some or asked me about or inquired about some certain properties from me, and I tell them, sorry, this particular project I sell for the company, but this particular project I don't sell. As simple as that. Because I believe what I can buy, I shouldn't sell it. Alright, so if you have any question about any of these companies, how reputable they are, and maybe any of their project too, if I know the project, I will tell you I know. If I don't know the project, I will tell you I don't know it. So you can drop a comment also, you can drop a comment here, and you can also reach me directly on WhatsApp also if there's any details. There are so many companies, so many real estate developers out there, so many. So there are some that I don't know. So don't expect me to be a dictionary or Wikipedia or Investopedia. So if I don't know the company, you just have to accept it like that. Sorry, I don't know this company. Then I will tell you the tips or the things that you can do just to protect yourself if you are going on to deal with the company. Alright, so thanks once again. Thanks for watching our video. Thanks for following my entire review and my entire assessment about the performance of these different real estate developers and companies for 2023. And see you next time.